So this will be our last video for this section. We're going to end it with kind of working backwards. I taught you that a function rule is an equation. That's basically all it is, where you're going to be given some input values and you use the equation to get your output values. Well, sometimes you're going to have to work backwards, where they give you your input, that's your x values or your domain, and your outputs, and you've got to come up with that equation. Now, for the most part, you're just going to be looking at the relationship from your input to your output. In other words, you're thinking, what is happening to my value here that will give me this value? Is something being added, subtracted, divided, squared? Those type of things. So you're going to have to use some patterns. Now, the cool thing about these problems is there are a lot of shortcuts. A lot of people know different ways to look at these tables and get the function rule. So I'm just going to show one way, and then if we're in class and somebody learned like a really cool shortcut or something, then we'll share it. But for the most part, I'm just going to be thinking, what am I doing to my x to get my y? And because these are functions, it should be the same thing for every x to get your y. So if you can already tell, if you're looking at this one, clearly a lot of y'all are like, well, to get your y, you're adding 4 to each one, right? So that means that my output is equal to my input plus 4, okay? That is the answer that you will give me. Now, it is plus 4 for every single input value. If it wasn't plus 4 for every single input value, it wouldn't be a function. So you've got to make sure that whatever equation or pattern you see is true for all your values. Okay? Now, let's look at the second one. And this is just knowing patterns. So some of y'all will get these right away, and some it may take time. For the most part, it may just be one simple step. You know, in your homework, you may see somewhere you have to multiply and then subtract, or you multiply and then you divide, or you square it and then you add. So it may be a little more complicated than this, but I'm just showing you that your brain's got to look at the pattern for these. So for the second one, letter B, it's the same thing. Look at your output. Look at your input, and you're looking to see, what am I doing? Whoops. What am I doing to my input that gives me my output? What is happening to this number? Something is happening to this number. And whatever that happening is your function rule. So when you look at these, hopefully everybody will see, oh, you just took the x and you subtracted 2 to get the y. So that would be y equals x minus 2. And that's your function rule. So again, this will be on your homework. You'll get a chance to try them out. Just remember that it has to be for all the values. More than likely it will, but you may just want to check to make sure I'm not trying to like trick you up. So that's it for your 1.6 videos, but that's not it for your notes. You have an OYO section, I believe, on your notes where you can just try a couple of problems on your own. If you want full credit, you must do these problems. You cannot just stop here and then turn in your notes and expect to get full credit. I don't know how much credit you'll get. It just depends on how many people say, I'm not going to do it. But if you want to get 100, you better make sure that you try these problems. And then when we have class, once I check your homework, we're going to jump right into your homework and, making sure you know what you're doing. So this is one